All right, thank you all for coming. My name is Benjamin Limmer. I'm the Chief Executive Officer with Heart. The reason why, quite honestly, we are all shocked today is because this is not normal behavior at all, what happened yesterday. Yesterday's attack was an incredibly senseless, isolated act of violence. An act of violence that was quite honestly met by an act of heroism by one of our Heart bus operators. Heart is committed to the ongoing safety of not only our customers, but our employees as well. Our employees come to work each and every day committed to two things. The first of which is the highest quality customer service, providing the best customer experience possible, and also ensuring the safety of our customers. Yesterday's senseless, isolated act of violence, again, was met by an act of heroism as the bus operator's last act as a Heart employee and the bus operator's last act on this earth after being struck was successfully navigating the bus to the side of the road and stopping the bus and saving further injuries from the additional 12 passengers that were on board the Heart bus. While there's definitely going to be an opportunity in the coming weeks to talk about how to make our employees and customers even safer tomorrow than they are today, today is really about honoring losing the life of one of the Heart family members. Now, looking forward, tomorrow there's going to be about 35,000 people boarding our system to get to work, to go to the doctor, to see friends and family, and other opportunities. So making sure that the safely transporting those 35,000 riders is our top priority today. We've had several great partnerships. We're working very closely with the Tampa Police Department on the investigation. We've also partnered very closely with our transit union, the ATU, and they've been very cooperative as we work together to ensure top-notch safety for our employees. I have with me today Colin Malloy, who can also provide some safety-related details going forward.
Thank you, sir. Again, my name is Colin Malloy. I'm the Director of Safety and Security with the Hillsborough Area Regional Transit Authority. As our CEO mentioned, one of the things is safety first, customer service always. The safety and security of our passengers is of paramount priority to this organization. We do that through numerous ways, through a multifaceted approach to security. So we do that through those partnerships that were referenced with both Tampa Police Department as well as Hillsborough County, the Department of Homeland Security, the Transportation Security Administration. We have great partnerships with them, including FDOT, in terms of coordinating, sharing information, and working with one another on events such as this. Great partners. Partnerships really make this key. We also do it through contracted security. At our transit centers, you will find contracted security that is there to add additional levels of protection to our customers. We find that very, very important. Again, safety first, customer service always. We have recently embarked on a series of projects of utilizing technology as well. Our entire bus fleet, as well as our paratransit vehicles and streetcar vehicles, have undergone a $1.3 million overhaul on the camera surveillance system within our buses. We are very proud to have doubled the number of cameras that are on those vehicles, as well as providing HD and real-time passenger information, as well as real-time live look-ins. We have also embarked on a security surveillance system program at our facilities. We have already completed this facility camera installations at Ybor, and we're looking forward to the Marion Transit Center as well as the University Area Transit Center having top-of-the-notch, state-of-the-art facility cameras put in place. But a lot of it begins with our employees. We have the best employees in this state. I don't think it was more evident by the act of heroism that our CEO just mentioned today. Some of that comes from the training. Some of that comes from the character of who those people are. And I'm proud to be part of this team. The training program that we have here at Hart is first in the nation in terms of utilizing best practices from the Transportation Safety Institute, the National Transit Institute, Smith System. We partner with local groups such as the University of South Florida Center for Urban Transportation Research. Our supervisors are not only also in the field helping to support, they're going through National Incident Management Systems training that we're very proud of. All our supervisors have gone through that type of coursework. In this building, you step over across the wall, you will see a fully functional control center. That control center is in constant contact with every operator that we have throughout our system. So those 35,000 people that are going to be riding our system tomorrow can know that they are in full contact with a control center operation that is in direct communication with law enforcement and fire. So once again, safety first, customer service always, and we take the safety and security of our passengers. It's a priority, and it's of paramount concern to all of us. Thank you.
Mr. Malloy, can we ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
We watched a video from December where the driver of this bus got up in front of board members, county board members, and expressed concerns. One of those concerns was that he had been recently assaulted on his bus and had called it in, and that an officer was actually on board, and he had expressed his concern to the officer, and he says nothing was done. He expressed all of this to these board members in December. Now this. What do you guys have to say about that? It's pretty heartbreaking to hear. And I know that I'm speaking to his wife today. His wife is furious.
What I would say to that is that we put in a number of mechanisms to where we can receive that information. We have a number of safety committees throughout the organization, both on our transportation side, our maintenance side, as well as our streetcar side, that provides avenues for operators to be able to voice those concerns. And we put together action plans and corrective actions of how we can help remedy those. From that December meeting, we actually had a safety day of action where we did it in partnership with the union and those safety committees, where we actually took safety promotion items to the streets at Marion Transit Center, at the streetcar facilities throughout our entire system. So it's an ongoing item. You know, we cannot stop these senseless acts of violence that I think our CEO talked about. We are ever vigilant on making sure that we protect our passengers and our patrons. And I personally am just at a loss of words at the tragedy that took place to such a great operator that we had, and the senseless act of violence that occurred today.
Knowing that no one can be 100% safe anywhere at any time, any place, are there other things you're looking at now following this that you may change about your safety measures on board about?
One thing I can tell you that we are looking at is Hart will be taking the lead to work with the state of Florida to have a symposium to talk about operator assaults and getting other transit agencies to find out what works and what doesn't work. We're going to be taking an active role within the state and using those partnerships that I talked about of how do we make sure that tragic, senseless acts of violence like this do not occur, and that mother that you spoke with doesn't have to have that conversation. So Hart is committed to that. Our organization is committed to our employees and to our riding public, and day in and day out we will continue to do that.
Do you think, sadly, that this tragedy may be the push that you might need to get the state to take some greater action to get this conversation going?
Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely no doubt that yesterday's event was a game changer, quite honestly. And so that is why we were already being very proactive in the safety field. My first day on the job was March 25th, and I gave 3 specific commitments to the board. One was to run an organization where safety was job number 1. Also committed to making us an employer of choice, and then overall operational excellence to our customers. So safety is job number 1, and going forward, we will certainly use this as an opportunity to take our safety program even further.
A lot of people we spoke with yesterday mentioned this plexiglass enclosure that's in some city buses. What can you guys say about that? A lot of people brought this up. Can you guys speak to that as to why they're not in the buses?
Talk about the history.
We looked at in the history of here at Hart. They have done a pilot on that. The pilot program had some both successes and some pros and cons with the partitions. So we're going to take a deeper look at that moving forward, and that's also going to be one of the topics of that symposium, to find out what works here in Florida. A number of transit agencies, the larger ones up in Chicago, New York City, DC, have moved towards that. We want to find out what works here. Whatever tool that is, if the tool is the partition, then we're going to look at that tool. In the past, some of the operators they felt a little bit confined by that they were boxed in, and they didn't feel comfortable, and it almost created an additional hazard. But in light of this horrible tragedy, we need to take a deeper look, and we need to have a 360 view of how we really make sure that we keep that safety and security. And that's what this symposium is really going to do, is bring experts and also areas from across the state of how we tackle this. Because what happens in Tampa can happen in Jacksonville, can happen in Miami, can happen in New Orlando. We are one transit, we are a family really in terms of when it comes to transit. And we are about taking this event and making it solutions oriented and not so much dividing.
Can you tell us more about the driver?
Yeah, can you tell us more about the driver?
Out of respect for the family and their wishes, we're not disclosing any information about the driver, bus operator at this time.
Not how long he worked for you guys. I mean, we want to honor.
Yeah, we're not saying anything about the bus operator other than he was a Hart bus operator, very committed, devoted employee to our customers each and every day.
Anything you're going to be doing to remember him? Like typically police wear something over their badge, something like that. I didn't know if there was anything you're going to do to mark this.
Yeah, we're certainly looking at a variety of things, financial support for the family, and there are children involved. We are also looking at a memorial both with the employees, specifically within Hart. We're going to have a little ceremony. And then we're also looking at some kind of memorial type wear, whether it's a patch or a ribbon or something like that. We are working all of those details out. And on top of that, I have been in contact with the family and having conversations about Hart playing a proactive role in the funeral arrangements as those are finalized.
Now, I know that this situation was very rare, what happened. Even the police department said that this was truly unusual, that this hasn't happened in a long time. But in terms of assault on bus drivers in general, and off the top of your head, because I know you don't have it in front of you, but can you talk about how big of a problem this is in our area? Are bus drivers being assaulted a lot? And not obviously stabbed, but are they being assaulted?
Or harassed or bothered in any way?
Yeah.
No, again, what happened yesterday was incredibly isolated and extremely violent. And, it's not normal. It's not normal in Tampa. It's not normal in Seattle. It's just not a normal act. And so what I would say, though, is we take what happened very seriously, and I'm going to use that to ensure the safety of not only our employees, but our riders as well as we move forward.
I mean, in the last year, let's say, have you had complaints from any bus drivers saying, hey, I was pushed or I was shoved or spit on? In this situation, he said he was spit on.
I would have to look. The majority we get quality of life type of concerns, but I would have to get back with you. In terms of we've been focused on working with the family, working with law enforcement on this event, but we can get back with you on some of that information.
Just to clarify, the symposium, you're calling this as a direct result of this. It wasn't a pre-planned, pre-scheduled event.
This is something that we felt was necessary for the state to come together to look at solutions.
Prior to this, or because of this?
In light of this, we have looked at, it was in light of this event that we felt that there was a driving force for these transit agencies to come together as a whole to look at.
Do you have an estimated time of when that's going to happen, or when you want everybody to come together to start talking about this?
I would like to get back with you on that date. If that's possible, but we'll be happy to get that information to you.
What are we doing this week to protect the bus drivers, to protect the passengers? You guys going to have any extra? You talked about the transit centers and having contract security there. What about on the actual buses? Are you guys doing anything with that right now?
One of the things in speaking with our operations department, we are going to have additional transit supervisors. So not only do we have security forces, but our transit supervisors are out throughout the entire system as well. So we are increasing that level of presence of the transit supervisors so there can be as quick of a response as possible over this week to make sure that both at a functional level and also an emotional level, that they know that we are here for them and are riding public. So we're working hand in hand with our ops department to make sure that our transit supervisors, our contracted security, and our partnership with Tampa PD over this next week, we really look at those items.
You've got counselors here for people too, do you not? For bus drivers who might need some grief counseling or something?
Yes, we do. Almost immediately after the unfortunate incident took place, we did contact counseling services. They are on staff here at this facility from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. all the way through next Friday, and we will go longer if employees need additional counseling services. And then we're also placing counselors at the Marion Transit Center downtown.
What do you want people that are watching this to understand about the job of being a bus driver? Not only just for Hart, but for any city bus driver. Just that job and the kind of person it takes to do this job.
These bus operators are special people. They are the direct interface with our customers. They are customer service agents, and they're customer-focused people, and their job is to serve them well and ensure that they're safe when they board the bus. That takes a special type of person, and not just anybody can be a great bus operator. We have hundreds of great bus operators, but that's really the type of person that it takes to be a successful bus operator, because again, you are interacting with the customers, helping them board the bus, helping them navigate the city and county, and really serving them, taking them, really connecting them to life's opportunities.
Not an easy job, is it?
Not at all.
I keep going back to, again, that December meeting and what this bus driver said. I'm just curious what the protocol is. If something happens on a bus to a bus driver, when they call it in, what happens from then?
Yeah, what
From there
authority
on?
is it?
What is the protocol?
So I'll let Colin talk a little bit about the protocol, but I did begin this job March 25th. Again, safety was my top priority. I also committed to the stakeholders, the citizens throughout Hillsborough County, that I would go on a listening tour. I wanted to hear everything that was going on from our customers, from our employees as well, about what are things we need to keep doing that we're doing well, what are things we might need to change, and what are things that we need to stop doing. And I'm just wrapping up my second month. Heard a lot of excellent suggestions about how to improve our service, how to make our system safer. And so I take each and every one of those points of input incredibly seriously. I am made aware of previous comments that have been made to whether it's the board or individuals at Hart, and I take them all seriously as I move forward here as CEO of Hart.
Okay. I'll answer your question and then one more question. In terms of protocol, I would echo our CEO's statement is that the control center that I mentioned, that is a fully functioning 24-hour. So anytime that there is an event, there's also panic buttons on there. There's emergency response buttons that they can hit if emergency takes place. They're in constant contact with police and fire for that immediate response. So we have a number of features and also built-in features for when something is reported. We also have reporting mechanisms through those safety committees. So the protocol, as the information is received, it goes to the appropriate division within there. We review, and as determined, a corrective action plan will be put together, such as the example of the safety day of action that we did, working with both labor and management on that, and it was very much a success. Last question. Yes, sir. We are at 300,
350.
350, I believe, yes.
Mr. Molloy, sorry, one more question. Are there certain routes that you guys keep an eye on that say, these ones tend to give us a little bit more problem with riders or what have you? And if so, was this route that the driver got stabbed on, was that one of those routes that has concerned you in the past?
We, throughout the year, look at different routes for a number of different reasons. So it could be ridership based, it could be customer service based, it could be, are we hitting the areas that people in the community want to go to? And we also look at safety items. So we go through what we call markups 3 times a year at least. And it's during that period of time where we're going to be looking at the different routes and on a number of facets. So that could be from customer service, ridership, and safety and security. So we look at all the routes.
So had this one been identified or flagged for safety at all?
This route is one of our more heavily traveled routes because it comes from the USF area through downtown. So we have some of our most largest ridership in that area.
So that's the yes
So,
flag? Is that a yes? Because of the heavy traffic on the route, that it was noted as a
we
route
look at safety and security of all of our bus routes. So thank you all for coming.
Yep.
Much appreciated.
Could you say your name, your first and last name for me? I didn't get it.
Oh, so it's Benjamin Limmer, Limmer,
And you prefer Ben?
CEO. Thanks.
You prefer Ben? Or Ben?
I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, yeah, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I
No
know
problem.
you guys